Oh man, oh man, oh man. Not again. Yeah.
And here we are with episode 5 of HeartBreak City podcast. I'm Brad Smith.
Brandon Burgess.
The Black Even Steven.
All right, and I'm gonna be on here for a short period today, but let's get right into it with the current events that's going on in America today. So, in the past 2 days, we have had 2 shootings involving police and African Americans, where both African Americans were killed. How do each of you feel about what's going on right now?
I think that I always say pandemonium or like this urgence of like everybody being on panic mode. Just said that way. When people hit the panic button, they do rash and very irresponsible things instead of like being rash and reasonable and be for the people and work for the people. You're against the people now because you're not thinking on your toes. You're not using your instincts that you were taught
Right.
in the police academy that you were taught. You would just neglect that altogether because you see what's going on the outside, and now it's like, it's the wild wild west out here. But I'm gonna say it like Jay-Z said. I thought this was America, people. You see what I'm saying? Right. But now it's like it's like my cousin said. He was like, I'm over here in Kandahar, and I feel more safe in Kandahar than I do in my own country. And they supposed to be shooting, killing ISIS and all the rest of this joint over here. And I come back home, it's gonna be it's cops shooting people and for no reason, tail lights being out, and it's crazy. But like everybody's like yeah, I do believe that all lives matter. But if we look at stat wise. Most of these killings of cops are done by white cops against black people. So if we go about stat wise and we only going by numbers, the numbers show that clearly that white cops are killing black people. So when people go, oh, Black Lives Matter, they only saying because black people are getting killed by white cops.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to make it a racial thing, but I'm going to a factual thing. You know what I'm saying? I would say the exact same thing if it was anybody of Spanish descent. I would say anybody who's Asian descent or anybody else. But mostly what you see, I feel like I'm watching 1950s all over again. This is what it looks like. You almost have to like have your stuff it's like that shirt you seen.
Oh yeah.
And my license registration and my damn insurance on my shirt.
Taped to the t-shirt.
Taped to my t-shirt so you won't shoot me. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing about being respectful, and being respectful to the officer, but don't be gun trigger happy after a man has told you that I have a gun, I have a license for the gun. And then he goes and you tell him to pull out his license and registration, and he goes and pulls for the right license and registration. Now, instead of you give him certain instructions saying that, sir, could you please, open your door and step out the vehicle, and step in the back of the vehicle with your hands on the back of the trunk, as I go and retrieve your weapon.
And that's what should have happened, which didn't happen.
It didn't happen. You didn't follow police protocol. So you were negligent of doing your job.
There was a video on Facebook that I watched. Actually, it was just a post of a black man who got stopped by a white police officer. He was a registered. He had his weapon registered and he was licensed to carry it. And he let the officer know that he had his weapon on him. He said he was wearing a hoodie and jeans, and his weapon was on his hip. So, as the officer is supposed to do, he asked him to step out of his vehicle so he could disarm him. And while this is going on, his whatever setup he was running on his weapon, the officer complimented him on it and was basically admiring his weapon. Not saying that this isn't what we're supposed to do, because it is. But if we do what we're supposed to do, good things might happen. I'm not saying it was good that he got pulled over and had to get out his car and all that, but stuff like what happened today wouldn't happen if we did what we were supposed to do. But he did what he was supposed to do. The officer failed to do what he was supposed to do. And in case you don't know, the incidents that we're talking about is the one that happened this morning in a suburb of St. Paul, Minnesota, with a police officer and the victim, Philando Castile, and the one from yesterday that happened in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Alton Sterling. Alton Sterling was at a gas station or a corner store selling CDs, who people say he had, well, I think his wife or his mom said he had permission from the store owner to sell CDs at the store. So he wasn't breaking the law then. But information came out that Alton Sterling had priors and he was a felon and was on probation and whatnot, so he shouldn't have had a weapon. But my thing is that officers had Alton Sterling pinned down on the ground. His left arm was under one officer's knee and the other was pinned against him by the officer's hand. And when the shooting happened, that's how he was laying. And the one officer yelled gun, and that's when they shot him 4 or 5 times in his chest. And there was a video of the store owner who got interviewed, and he said when they asked him when the shooting happened, could you see his gun? The store owner said no. And they asked him when did the gun actually come out? He said after he had been shot and the police officer pulled it out of his pocket and took it and put it on the seat of his cop car.
Yeah, it almost reminded me of that movie that was a Fruitvale Station.
Fruitvale Station, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Like, you know, it's just everything's backwards. Like, you know, like instead of like reacting to something, be proactive about something. What happened to patting a man down and see if he had a gun?
Mm-hmm.
How about like, you know, doing proper procedures? Like everybody it's just like we living in the wild, wild west, to where we shoot first and ask questions later.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's not how it's supposed to go. You have proper protocol and procedures. That's why you went to the academy. That's why you have refresher training. That's why you have all this certain training to train you up to a certain point of how you frisk somebody, how to check somebody, how to properly, you know, Mirandize somebody. You know what I mean? It's proper procedures that you're supposed to follow, which is not being followed at all, period. And that's pretty much what I'm getting mad about, is there's no proper procedures of doing it. And then at the same time, when you do something, you lose your composure and you start acting like a regular civilian. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You start, you know, screaming, "Oh my God!" You know, just wilding out. You know what I mean? And now when you're in the state of being shocked, then you're destined to do something else crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it's a ripple effect. You see what I'm saying? So like, you know, it's almost like I just want to stand still and not move because this dude already shot somebody one time. Well, excuse me, 3-4 times. I don't want to get shot by him because he's erratic. He's done. You see what I'm saying? And like I'm just gonna say, like, it's gonna be pandemonium if these people get away with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if there's no punishment at all, it's gonna be bad. You see what I'm saying? Right. And I'm just saying that somebody is gonna have to be to a point where who's gonna step in and, like, you know, make this right, justify this. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And there was another post that said, I think it kind of pertained to Bill Cosby, where they can bring up evidence from the past to try to get someone in trouble.
Yeah.
But when we have video evidence of what is going on, of a police officer shooting someone, and there's still no conviction, what kind of stuff is that? Like, where is the justice? Like, you bring up made up, I don't know if it was made up. I take that back. I don't know if it was made up, but you bring up evidence that you supposedly have from the past, from whomever, and you try to convict somebody, but we clearly have video evidence of police officers shooting our people, and there's still no conviction. It's happened way too many times, and I'm not surprised, like you said, if there's going to be pandemonium, if there's going to be riots after the trials, if there even will be a trial for these two cases.
Yeah, I mean, usually a trial usually happens. It doesn't happen that fast. Usually it's almost a year later, almost, or or some months later that it happens. But it's gonna be a bad day. It's gonna be pretty much like the day you want to stay in your house because it's gonna get crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to put yourself or nobody that you know in their harm's danger. And it's almost like it's kind of dangerous out here to even being a cop now, man.
Yeah.
Because now it's like either you gonna have the people who gonna try you, or you don't even know how to react or to act to it, unless you have a good rapport with the people. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, it kind of puts you in the stereotype as you put other people in stereotypes. You know what I mean? Every cop is gonna shoot and kill me. I might not make it home tonight. You see what I'm saying?
It's all about approach, man.
It is about approach.
Because that's one thing I was thinking about. Like the video we got from Alton Sterling, the two videos, because there were two. One of the first and then second that came out later of a actual close up. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, what led to the officers jumping this man the way they did? Like, we don't get to see that part of the video, so there's always that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, Kevin, you've been quiet, man. I want to know what you thinking. How you feel about this, man?
No comment.
You ain't on trial, man. You can't plead the fifth.
No comment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's what's wrong with some people today. And on the Black Lives Matter thing, Black Lives Matter is a movement that we put in place to bring attention to what's going on in the black community. It's not the fact that all lives don't matter, because all lives do matter. But the things that happen to black people don't happen to everybody else. And that's why
or it gets overlooked.
Exactly. That's why we put in place Black Lives Matter.
Well, a great example is like when you told me the guy that with the hatchet.
Oh yeah.
Ran around with the hatchet and they just tasered him.
Yeah, well, I won't say there's a difference, but Alton Sterling was tasered once before they shot him, but he continued to resist.
Yeah.
But in the video he's talking about, there was a white man with a hatchet. Most likely he was strung out on some type of drugs, and they tasered this man twice. And even after the hatchet was out of his hands, I don't know what happened because the video wasn't that long, but even after the hatchet was out of his hands, he never came in contact with the police. Like, the police never put their hands on him. They never even got within, I'd say, probably 20 feet of him.
Yeah.
They tasered him once. Somehow he got that off of him, and then they tasered him again, and it seemed like he got even more angry.
Yeah.
But they never put their hands physically on this man.
Yeah. Yeah, unlike they did with the last two incidents.
Right.
I mean, it was really just to me it was all foul play, and like the way it went down, it was like it could have been approached in a different manner, and it got handled, and the situation went sour really fast. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't like it took like over a 30, 40, even an hour time frame.
This was
this
5 minutes.
Yeah, this is like boom, boom, boom. Like we're done. You see what I'm saying? Like we ready to go. Like it wasn't handled in the proper form. So I mean, that's what it needs to happen. So.
And I said earlier, it's all about approach, but it comes down to the individual. I can approach a police officer as respectfully as I can, but if he comes to me with the attitude that he's better than me because he wears a badge or because of the color of his skin, then there's already a bad equation for something to happen. I can be as respectful as possible, and if he's out to get me, then there's probably nothing I can do. Honestly, as a black man, there's probably nothing I can do.
Just pray you don't pull his gun out and shoot you, man.
Exactly. And I shouldn't have to live in a country that supposedly is free, and we still have stuff like this going on day after day.
Yeah. So you really ain't got nothing to say about this, bro?
No, I don't. I do, but I'm not. I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Don't hold your tongue. This is where you're supposed to let it out, Chief. I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna hold my tongue because I was holding my tongue, man. Like I would see these videos day after day.
I'll be at work. Like you have to say something. You just said that you couldn't get on Facebook because that's all you see.
I'll be at work.
Like, but I mean, that's all you see, and now it's like, does it like? I mean,
it bothers me. It makes me angry. Talking about it will make me even more angry. You gonna be out here.
So why? I mean, so why are you
out here just angry at everybody? Like if you ain't black, I'm not messing with you.
No, it's not about that.
Feel the struggle, but or like you feel some type of way that we just pointed out because it's black people, and you feel like we somehow better than you or some other stuff. That's why I just be like, I don't even want to see it. I try not to let that get into my head, and I try to keep all the negativity out.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, you can't go out there with that negativity because you know better than who the people who are doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's all about. It's not about your. It's about your attitude about it. You can feel however you want to feel about it, but it's all about your approach to everything. You see what I'm saying? My approach to the scenario is, this is wrong and this was what happened, but my attitude is just like theirs. What makes me better than them? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was wrong.
Hate does not and hate. Hate and hate doesn't equal up to peace. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's all about awareness. You see what I'm saying? Like making this aware that people know that I ain't just here talking about sports. I'm talking about what's going on around here. You know what I mean? Like
y'all had
this
to
is
say,
crazy.
saying what y'all had to say. I don't have to say anything. Being aware, y'all already said y'all piece. Y'all need to be aware, in my opinion too. We gonna wait and see if these motherfuckers actually go to jail or something. What type of justice comes down on these people, and then we gonna see how I feel on the situation.
All right.
Because it's gonna be some other stuff that happen.
All right.
Well, and this is gonna be like a good segue into like when Ed Money come back.
Oh,
you know what I mean? When he
I
comes
cannot
back,
wait
we gonna have to like
to
really
hear
get
his input.
into the input of somebody else. Like I'm not saying like nobody else's input doesn't matter, but like a kind of like an all around like looking at from
Different perspectives.
different backgrounds and different views on it. Because either people been in a position like that or you dealt with that firsthand. You see what I'm saying? But that this is a good topic to talk about. We're not done with it. Like just like Kevin said. I mean. And we really can't say anything until actually some action. Like you can tell me you're gonna do something until actually we see something. So that's what pretty much what we boil down to.
Yeah.
So
what I like about this situation. I mean, about when stuff like this happen. It's not good. I don't like when it happens. But the good thing, like you get to see like all your friends stuff who's actually racist and stuff like that.
It's like you see the true colors come out when something comes down like that. When you say anything about
about getting shot. I saw some guy get shot the other day, but I guarantee he had more chances than we did.
One of my friends on Facebook, and I say friends with quotations around it. I bet he sees all these shootings of cops shooting black people, and he had the audacity to post something about a black cop shooting a white kid. I mean, I'm not saying
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
But
I mean, it's bad that's happened, but the fact that you
had to go find something.
You have to go find something to try to justify your opinion.
Yeah. That means you took the time and the resources and the opportunity to go find one subject out of
one case.
Yeah, out of like we can name 7 off the top of our heads.
Off the top, it's ridiculous. I saw another post that all lives blocked.
Yeah.
If you have anything to say that goes against Black Lives Matter, you're getting blocked. That's almost the point that I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Black Lives Matter is a movement. So the movement is making aware of, hey, these people are getting killed. why is anybody not saying anything about it?
Exactly. Why?
That's all
why
it
don't
is.
we
It's not
get
like
justice?
it's not like we over here trying to start the new chapter of the Black Panthers Party over here, and I'm Huey Newton, I'm trying to start a revolution or something like that. That's not what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is the awareness of what's going on around you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about being aware of your surroundings. So yeah, we're gonna touch light on that some other time. So let's get to this sports right now.
All right. So recently, in the NBA.
Hold up, wait a second. Before we even get into the free agency, we ain't have no time to congratulate the Cavaliers for winning that championship. It's called HeartBreak City. We ain't heartbroke no more. Number one,
Congrats to the
man.
Cavs. I was
Congratulations.
rooting for LeBron.
LeBron, Kyrie for the 3.
I'm glad he found. I'm glad you went back and you won one. You fulfilled the promise that you told them that you were gonna do, and you gave a promise to them. And then now it's like your legacy is solidified now. You see what I'm saying? It's no more like everybody's like LeBron. He ran to Miami and he went here to go and get 2 championships from 2 other people. And now he did it. I mean, he did it his way because that's his city, and he did it this way. Yes, he had help with supporting cast. Like he's had help with supporting cast when he was on the Heat. So.
Yeah.
Don't say he did. I'm not gonna say he did it all by himself, because no player on no team at any time done it by themselves.
He did put up one hell of an effort, though.
Yeah, but this was the argument when I had with Haynes. He was like, we were talking about what's a superstar and what's a star. You see what I'm saying? A star player is a player that when I need you to, when I pass that ball to you, you're gonna do your thing and you're gonna help facilitate this team and help me with the win. A superstar is a person where, you know what,
They gonna take
put
the game in
the
their
team on
hands.
my back, put the ball in my hand, I'm gonna carry y'all to the promised land. You see what I'm saying?
So
No, his argument is LeBron is not he's not saying he's not a star, he's not a superstar, but he's not saying he's not a closer. And I was like this, okay, so you're telling me he did not close, so you telling me, so you had to be, he said, he's just talking about LeBron, period, is getting criticized because he's not a closer. And I was like,
I don't think he needs to be a closer.
why do you have to be a closer? Like, I don't have to be like, but I can be a smart player, superstar player, and pass the ball to Ray Allen for him to hit that 3 because 9 times out of 10, Ray Allen's gonna hit that shot. Ray Allen, last time I checked, Ray Allen's 3-point percentage was a whole lot higher than
I can
his.
put up the points during the game, put up the points, the assists, the blocks, the rebounds, and when it comes down to it, if I'm not comfortable hitting that shot, I'm going to give it to somebody I know can hit the shot. I might be able to make all these other plays, and I might not be a closer, but I have people on my team. Team is the key word. If you have somebody on your team that can shoot that game-winning shot, why not give it to him?
yeah, they want him to shoot them game-winning shots, but he's not. That's not the type of.
That's
player
not
he
him.
is.
But it doesn't mean like.
It's like if he has it, he's gonna take it.
Oh yeah, but at the same time,
if
like,
I say
but
something better.
yeah, but at the same time, it's all about being smart about it. Well, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like just a ball hog and just take the ball over. And I've been bricking half the game. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna pass to the hot hand.
Kobe and all his
Kyrie-
greatness do that all the time. Just like,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like and at the same time, like it all boils down to being smart about how you play. He's a smart player. He finds the open person or the person who he trusts has the ball in his hand. Last time I checked, any team that you've seen besides the Miami Heat, who had the ball without LeBron having the ball in his hand? Kyrie can, because Kyrie can tote that rock by himself, 1-on-1. He was beating Curry all day. It was so sad. I feel like I was watching a pickup game and somebody just getting done in every game.
I'll tell you what.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say you cannot say nobody on that Warriors team is a superstar. All of them are stars. That's all they are. Even you want to put Kevin Durant, I'm sorry. You are a star. You were a superstar. Now you're a star. You know why you're a star? I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you're a
Took
star.
the easy way out.
You took
Before you get started, I'm gonna take my leave.
That's when you're not a superstar.
I'm upset that I have to leave so early, but I will see y'all next week on the HeartBreak City.
You gonna be here next week?
Oh, I apologize. 2 weeks maybe
Yeah,
3.
they'll be here with Ed Money here.
Yeah,
So
I'll be back though. And I'm Brad Smith signing off.
yeah, so me and Black Albie Shore over here, still here.
Hey, it's the Black Even Steven.
What a even Steve in the face, whatever. Yeah, so we still here, and pretty much my whole point of what I'm trying to say is Kevin Durant. The 3 reasons why Kevin Durant went down to a star. Yeah, he's a scorer. Yeah, he won the MVP 2 years ago. Okay, or I think it was 2 years ago. That's cool. You was a superstar because you was that dude on your squad. Am I right or wrong? He's the face of that franchise, OKC. He was there before they were OKC. So yes, you were the superstar. But now, why you went from a superstar, now you a star? Let me tell you the reason why. Number one, no superstar will ever get on a team that beat you when you was up 3-1. You was up 3-1. You had plenty of opportunities to beat them, but you no show, no call, no show. That's what you were. You didn't even show up. Period. You was up 3-1. They came back and beat you 4-3. You went back, and then on top of that, you got beat by them. And then now you join that team. If you can't beat them, join them. And then you think, oh, it feels like it was organic. It felt like it was authentic to me. How's that organic or authentic at all? That's fraudulent, bro. That's so fraudulent. You could have went to anybody else and nobody would have got mad at you. Nobody's mad at you for leaving Oklahoma City. Nobody's not, because you've been there for 9 years. You went to how many? You went to one final and you lost. But at the same time, you know what? You gave it all what you can give at that time, and you weren't ready to take it to the next level. Now, name how many times LeBron went to the championship. He could have just left the Cavaliers and just said bye after he went that one time when he went against the Spurs. The Spurs, that was the team. And he wasn't gonna beat the Spurs by himself.
He wouldn't have went to the Spurs after he lost.
No, he wouldn't have. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, why would I go to a team that beat me? Like, you know, there's no more. Not even say loyalty. There's no more dignity about yourself. Like, you know, I would have enough. If you beat me, like if I played you in basketball and you beat me, I don't want to be on your team. You know what that makes me want to do? I want to get in that court. I want to practice my shots. I'm going to do what I can to do what I need to take myself to the next level to beat you. Then I'm going to rub it in your face. I'm going to tell you I beat you. And then I'm going to keep trying to do it over and over again. That's competitors do. That's what competitors do. Competitors don't go to teams who beat you and you join the team and say, well, if I can't beat them, I need to join them.
People don't want to work that hard. No.
Bro, everybody, like I said, everybody, just like what Kevin Hart used to say. What'd he say? Everybody want to get paid, but nobody want to put in that work, man.
You know what's going to end up happening out for this is it's going to take like the weight off the rings. Like everybody, like Kobe was chasing Jordan with the rings and all that stuff, trying to get up to 6. Can't be crazy if you ain't got 6. Jordan got 6, and then now you on a superstar team. It's gonna take away from like getting the rings and be like that. It was just too easy.
It's not even the fact that it'd be too easy for me. It's just like you took the easy way to get it. You see what I'm saying? Like you can nobody respect LeBron because he went to Miami because he went on to win with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. But it wasn't easy for them to win one. You see what I'm saying? They went the first year and they lost against the Mavs. You see what I'm saying?
The team that lost in the finals.
Exactly.
He went to a team that needed help at that time.
Exactly. So it wasn't like you can't. They're two different cases. You know what I mean? You can't put them in the same plight. They're two different. They're apples and pears. Not in the same conversation.
Another thing is though, you don't know how many players in the past would have did that. Like this is the first time in almost forever that like a championship team actually had the cap space to go get a top 5 player in the league.
Well, when we talk about cap space, like the league is different from back in the day and now.
But
the money is a little bit different than it was then and now.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the same time, back in the day, they played off pride and dignity, and now it's just off of just trying to who can get a championship. I've been in the league for 9 seasons, and I just it hasn't panned out where I'm at. You know what I mean? And you were so close. Like, I mean, you were so close to just winning it. Instead of you sticking it out and, like, signing a 1-year deal with OKC and just say, let me try one more time. You see what I'm saying? Or going with a team,
Yeah, I was
any
gonna
other
say, I
team.
wasn't coming back to OKC after they
No,
lost.
that's fine. That's fine. You could have went somewhere else. You know, go somewhere else and try it out. Maybe the chemistry at OKC was done. You tried 9 times and it was just done. You had to work with somebody else. But don't go with a chemistry that's already made and all you add you to it. It's like me doing a 3-point contest. That's what it's gonna be. And somebody's gonna be like, the score is gonna be 200 to 86. Everybody on that squad is gonna shoot threes. Everybody gonna have 40, 50, 60 points. And like, you know, and it's almost like I laughed. Nobody is officially allowed to play with the Golden State Warriors on 2K17.
It's like when the Heat had LeBron and all them.
Yeah, you cannot play with them. Only time you can play with them is we playing against them against the 93 Bulls or any one of them All-Star superstar teams. That's the only time you can play with that squad. It's already been well known. Everybody knows that. You can't play with them Golden State Warriors unless you play with another elite team that's on 2K. That's point blank. Don't even when you go by Golden State, don't even look at it. Just keep scrolling.
You saw, I would have left OKC too because you see how the whole season they needed a shooting guard. Like the argument before, I was like, they shooting guard could put up 15 points a game, they'll win. They'll win something. So what
they went to go.
That's what I'm saying. They traded their power forward for a shooting guard. So now you don't got a power forward, and you like asking Durant to come out and play power forward and small forward. It's just like he's not gonna be able to.
Their thought process on it was not complete. Because the way you went about it was you needed a decent shooting guard. You could have, good example, you could have went out and got
Eric Gordon was out there.
Ed Gordon. You could have traded somebody and got a Mike Dunleavy. You could have got somebody else. I didn't say the dude had to put up 30, 20 points. But the dude at least he could put up a 15 points on you for you. You know Eric Gordon's gonna do it
in the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So you should have been looking for that player that's gonna fill that position.
Not trade away.
Exactly.
Defensive player.
Well, OKC already kind of screwed themselves like Miami did. So it just like, you know, it's so funny that everybody else who wasn't anybody made pretty decent moves to somewhat get yourself back in the talk. You see what I'm saying? And the teams who usually do well in the free agency flopped. Just like great example is like Dwayne Wade leaving Miami, going to the Chicago Bulls. You can't get mad at him. He gave you 13 seasons. 13 seasons, gave you 3 championships in 13 seasons.
Supposed to stay. You wanna keep it. You brought Whiteside back. That's probably
but at the same time,
probably up there regretting it now. He's like,
well, yeah, because but you anticipating that he was gonna come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But see, but that's his fault. You should have like saying like, us cool and everything. I make an agreement if you're gonna bring him back. That was his fault.
Yeah.
Now you stuck by yourself with Bosh. I mean, if Bosh even comes back and plays. That was a bad move on Pat Riley. How are you gonna see? He's like almost like saying, put some respect on my name. Look. It's not like what have I done for you lately. I've been in 13 seasons, gave you 3 championships.
And he almost carried him through the playoffs.
Yeah, by himself. What do you want him to do? Like, I mean, how much more do you need? He doesn't need. You shouldn't even be coming to have a conversation of how much we shouldn't be shortchanging Dwayne Wade. We should be like, hey man, how's this sound, bro? We're gonna give you 50 for 2 years.
They said his knees is getting bad.
Okay.
He's getting up there in age.
Oh, okay. He's
we just
34.
paid for Whiteside. I don't want to spend no money.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you pay for Whiteside. See, you messed up on that because you pay for Whiteside because you gave him the max deal. Is he worth max deal money?
Hey. He's a great defender.
Yeah, but at the same time, like how old is Whiteside?
It's like 27, I think.
Okay, so Whiteside has, this is pretty much he's getting what he's gonna get.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
this is when he was
exactly
take the max deal.
Exactly. But at the same time, like I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have went down on that max deal if he was gonna know he was gonna cost them to get Dwayne Wade. But he didn't know that.
He just cost them. I think they just didn't want to pay him all that money.
Yeah, but at the same time, now it makes you look bad now.
And the Bulls kind of got like a pretty good lineup with Ryan.
The Bulls got a pretty decent lineup to get them in the playoffs. Maybe out of the first round.
We're gonna see what Jimmy Butler do this year.
No, bro. Somebody made a valid point. They have the worst 3-point shooting percentage on that team. Name a person that's good shooting threes on that squad now.
Yeah, not in the starting lineup.
Exactly. I don't even know I'm even on the bench now.
You gotta look at the benches.
Yeah, bro.
They just lost what's the name yesterday.
Dunleavy left for Calderon. Calderon was the best 3-point shooter on that squad. Derrick Rose was decent. He gone.
Yeah.
And then look at the Knicks. Now they didn't come up with a little squad now. I'm not, but it's all pending on if Derrick Rose is healthy and Joakim Noah is healthy. They might go to the semifinals if all of them can gel together and play together. That's my take on those free agent moves. And then like people were getting mad because like Batum and some other players are getting max deals. But what are you getting mad for? Because they already told you that the money was coming in, right? It was up to what, 98 million?
Yeah.
Now the next year is gonna be 108. So the cap is getting bigger. So paying these players 130 million, when you look at it 5 years from now, it's gonna be like you gonna be like, I guess that was an okay move. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna make that look like it's nothing. So I mean, that's just my opinion, because like, you know, everybody else who
A couple of them people ain't deserved them fat deals though. It was a bunch of them. There.
Well, I mean, who else was out there though? This free agency was horrible. Everybody knew there was like only maybe 1-2 people that was like headliners that you.
It was a bunch of good people out there, but they was giving crazy amounts of money to people.
To who? So you saying Harrison Barnes was that good to give a max deal for it?
I wouldn't say a max deal. Well, he has potential. He's a shooter and he plays defense.
Potential. How long has Harrison Barnes been in the league?
About 3-4 years. He's only like 24 or 25.
Okay, he has the potential, right? Wasn't it not too long ago Harrison Barnes was like actually you know, really really good? You know what I mean? He was in the starting lineup at one point.
Yeah, then Iguodala got there.
Yeah, he's 24 years old.
Right.
So I mean, me personally, potentially is he worth it? I guess. But like,
especially on Dallas now.
Bro,
Well, they lost Chandler Parsons, so they had to fill that.
Dallas is one of those teams who try to sign other people who are good on another team and just try to match ups and gel some stuff together to make it work. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, they only got so many years left with Dirk.
Dirk, I don't even know if he's even on the squad anymore. So I mean, me personally, I mean, like, for me to see this free agency, and yeah, people got big deals, like, you know, like the Bradley Bills of the world, you know, he deserved one.
Yeah.
And like the Bradley Bills and the I'm trying to think, who else was it?
Evan Fournier.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. People.
No, I'm just saying like the Bradley Bills of the world, and like not even like, and like even like, I wouldn't say Paul Gasol because he didn't got his money already in the past. I'm more saying like more like and like, what's his name? Joe Johnson. And you know, is Joe Johnson worth the money for what he's getting? I mean, Joe Johnson is not what he was, but Joe Johnson gonna put up some numbers though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's gonna be a consistent shooter.
Exactly. Just like, you know, Eric Gordon got, you know, 4 years, $53 million deal from the Rockets.
That's kind of low for him. I would think. I mean, he has been injury prone since he's been on the Pelicans.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, or just like Courtney Lee getting 4 years, $48 million from the Knicks. That's pretty average for him. He's the average shooting guard. You see what I'm saying?
It's just good defense.
Yeah, like, Al Horford deserves a max deal. You know what I'm saying? He deserves the 5-year, $113 million. You see what I'm saying? He deserves it.
Michael Conley got 5 years, 150.
That was ridiculous, bro.
Highest paid player in the NBA right now.
That's ridiculous, bro. But I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. But it's ridiculous, though.
He's been consistent.
Oh yeah,
that's what you're looking for.
Oh yeah,
if he was looking for championships, I would have made that too.
No, but I mean, look at your squad. I don't know who's on your team anymore.
Nah, he still got Marcus Parsons and Zach Randolph.
Yeah, they got Parsons on there now.
Yeah, he still got Tony Allen at the shooting guard. That's what's up back.
Yeah, I mean they improved. It's like Ryan Anderson getting 4 years, $80 million. Houston Rockets giving that to him. That one right there. Stuff like that. That's what
they in panic mode. They need somebody to replace the White.
And then Orlando giving out,
Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah, Bismack Biyombo giving him a 4-year deal, around $7 million.
Yeah, he showed up against the Cavs.
Oh, he did. No, I mean he's a good base person to start. Not I wouldn't build around him, but he's a good piece to put in that middle part. You know what I'm saying? He'll help you out as far as defensively wise, because Orlando made so many shiesty moves. They need all the help they can get. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really know who's on this. Yeah, but see, you're starting off with those, but who's shooting the ball now? Who's shooting the ball? That's pretty much where it boils down to. Or like the Lakers, they just I'm gonna say this for certain personnel who are Lakers fans. Keith. I keep telling you keep getting these scrub players and like just making it seem like because you can't. Nobody else wants to play for LA.
Timothy. They got
Mozgov
and
Luol Deng, Jose Calderon. Like I said, these are players who are role players on other teams. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Lou Walton has something he can work with, but it's not no Golden State. You see what I'm saying? Type players. I mean, he does. I mean, it's other players he got on his team like Clarkson, like Jordan Clarkson. He's good. He's a young potential. He got 4 years, $50 million.
I thought it was funny when they asked Kevin Durant was he gonna meet with the Lakers. He said, "Nah, they trash."
he said nobody wants to play for the Heat or the Lakers, so it was kind of like being disrespectful at the same time. Like everybody knows that nobody wants to play for the Lakers until not Jenny Bush, but her brother steps down, bro. Ain't nobody gonna come to that team, bro. Until he's gone and she's taking over, nobody gonna come to that team, bro. He makes bad decisions and bad moves, man. I said the Clippers are gonna win one before they win one.
The Clippers might not even win one. They better start planning for without Chris Paul. Here in a second.
I'm just That team was just something. I don't know even what you talk about. Address this question, man. What was the Hawks thinking? Those are two teams that missed out on something. That just blew it. They got one big thing and they messed up everything else. They lost everything else. The Heat. You got Whiteside, but you lost Wade. You lost Ding. You lost Joe Johnson.
Everybody's starting from scratch now, man. It's gonna be
starts from scratch.
Easy. It's gonna be a
all right.
couple
Let's go down.
powerhouse teams.
Look, we're talking about the Hawks lineup, bro. Look, right now you got these 3 draft picks, which we don't even know who. I don't even count them for nothing because we don't know what they're gonna be. You got Dwight Howard. You picked up. You re-signed Kent Bazemore. You gave him almost. I say you gave him too much money. This is my opinion because Bazemore is a average player. He's decent. He's a good shooter, but he's no Joe Johnson or a person that you'd be like, I depend on you. You're gonna give me at least 15 to 20 points a game. You gotta show me more I can pay you. You see what I'm saying? Jeff T got traded. He ain't even on the team no more. Horford's gone. They traded him for like nothing. I don't even know if they didn't even get anything.
Who trades Jeff T?
They traded the best player on the team, Jeff T. Let's see.
Yeah, they started from scratch, man. Why did Dwight Howard go there? He must have just wanted his own team again.
Oh, excuse me. Jeff T was traded in a three team trade. So Jeff T was traded for, let's see.
That was stupid.
Let's see, point guard George Hill will go from the Pacers to the Jazz, and Utah will send a number 12 pick in Thursday's draft to Atlanta. So pretty much.
Who was the third team? Then? Did the Pacers get T? Because if so,
No, because what happened was George Hill went to the Jazz, and the Pacers got T, and Atlanta got the pick from the Pacers.
well, that was good for the Pacers.
Bro, I'm done with this scenario, bro. It's like, and you like Teague is no slouch either.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Like Teague is no slouch. That's the crazy part about it is he's no slouch.
Pacers been happy with George Hill, but Jeff T is a whole nother. Paul George ain't got to do it by himself next year.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's got help now. So that situation got all right. So I don't know. Boston went crazy on these picks they got in the draft because they had like Boston made all the trades from what was it from dang. They even got the picks from from Brooklyn. Yeah, all those old picks they still got those. They got all those picks. So I mean I don't really know about rookies and stuff like how they're gonna pan out. We just have to see when we see.
They got a good four though, a decent four. Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, what's his name? Al Horford and Jared Sullinger.
Yeah, Evan Turner he in Portland. He went to Portland. And we'll go to the Brooklyn Nets. Then they got Trevor Booker from Utah. They got some guy from some overseas. They got Tyler Johnson, which I'm not really. He's from Miami. I'm not really buying that. And they got Jeremy Lin. So they just like I feel like they just they traded. They traded Thaddeus Young to Indiana and waived Jared Jack. The only person who's putting up, giving you buckets off the bench, and you go get rid of him. Yeah. And then let's go to the Hornets. They re-signed Nicholas Batum. They got your boy Roy Hibbert.
Yeah. I like it. Jeremy Lamb still there. Jeremy Lamb, Kemba Walker.
They got Ramon Sessions from the Wizards. They got they re-signed Marvin Williams for I don't know why, but
I was thinking, I was like, why does Ramon Sessions keep going to the same two teams? They trade him back and forth.
Yeah, wasn't he on the Portland too at one time?
That was back before his Cavs days.
Oh yeah. That man gets traded around more times than
But it's been between the same two teams lately. It's Washington and Charlotte. It's like he get traded mid-season to Washington, end of the season come back to Charlotte.
And Marco Bellinelli got traded to Sacramento. I knew that was going to come.
Oh man, if Kid Gilchrist come back, that's gonna be a pretty good squad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot they lost Al Jefferson. He went to Indiana.
Yeah.
So Indiana's straight, bro.
Good.
It's straight.
Roy Hibbert can come play like he was still in Indiana.
Courtney Lee is gone. He went to the Knicks. And Jeremy Lin, nobody cares about. He's gone. So the good thing about the Bulls, they got Denzel Valentine, the dude from Michigan State, in the draft. They got Rondo. They got Wade.
Yeah, I like that starting lineup.
Yeah. They got Robin Lopez.
Besides, there ain't gonna be no shooters.
No.
And you hope D Wade can.
Yeah, but the only thing, the downside about the Bulls, they lost Paul Gasol. He was like getting age. He went to San Antonio. Joe Noah, and nobody really cared because he was hurt half the time.
Yeah. And Derrick Rose. Thought it was his team. All of Chicago was upset about that.
But everybody, I mean, it was good for him to go somewhere. He know he wanted to not be there.
Nah, man.
Because he knew that was Jimmy Butler's team.
That was his team, or it was his city. It might have been Jimmy Butler's team, but it was Derrick Rose city.
Yeah, it's true. Of course, on the Cavs, Richard Jefferson signed again
for too much money.
Mike Dunleavy was on the squad, and they lost Dellavedova and Mozgov, but Mozgov never even got to play.
Yeah. That man got
Dellavedova didn't really get to play either, really. So, I mean, you lost two people that really didn't.
He averaged like 8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get any buckets when he was in the game.
Nah,
but
that's what I'm saying. For like the little bit of time that he did.
You know what? He did good last year. He did pretty decent for himself.
He was an okay pickup, but Timothy Mozgov is not worth $70 million or however much he got.
But I told you, the Lakers are desperate. They'll take whatever. Timothy Mozgov, let's call him real quick. Hey Tim, you give the $70 million for 4 years?
You feel like
you feel like tell me that? I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I signed for it. I'll play for 4 years. I'll take that too. I'll play for the Lakers. You call and tell me, hey man, 4 years will give you $90 million.
I know you've been seeing all the memes and stuff.
What's that?
I know you've been seeing all the memes and stuff about the NBA giving away money.
Yeah,
it's like the Lakers just signed Ice Cube after they saw him mess around with a triple double.
Oh, was it like 5 years, $113 million? Yeah, I seen that meme.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the Mavs, they I don't know. I guess they think they're gonna get the second coming of the Curry. They got Seth Curry.
Yeah, I saw that. They paid Darren Williams like $10 million. Or what was it for just 1 year?
Yeah, Darren Williams is year by year basis. You don't never know what you're gonna get every year. So if he doesn't do good this year, we just won't sign him.
Went from like the top 2 point guards in the league to like not even starting.
Well, that's what happens when you go and chase that money, man. Yeah. You went to Brooklyn and chased that money, and you just couldn't do what you did when he was in the Jazz, bro. Yeah. You should have went somewhere that you were gonna thrive at. And you obviously didn't thrive up there, because you was like almost like on some crying, I want to go home type deal. I don't want to be here no more.
Say free agency ain't even over yet.
No, man, because I got Andrew Bogut. Dallas got Andrew Bogut also. So I mean, Dallas got a pretty okay team squad. They re-signed Dirk.
Just okay. They might not make the playoffs.
No, they'll make the playoffs. It's just how deep and far they go. I'm not even gonna talk about Denver. I'm not gonna discuss Denver Nuggets. Only thing they did was they DAJ. I'm gonna stay with Orlando. I'm gonna stay with the Nuggets because they don't even do anything to help themselves. The Pistons, they got Drummond. Drummond signed that big deal.
That's all he wanted.
Yeah, hey man, he's worth it though.
Yeah, he is. I would tell him though, you gotta promise me that you're gonna bring some help over here.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna mention these other people, who's on his team, because I don't even know who they are.
They lost Brandon Jennings. They probably still got Reggie Jackson and Brandon Knight.
Yeah, they still got them. So I mean, they just need a small forward.
I don't know.
And I don't even want to talk about Golden State Warriors.
They roster about to change though. They ain't gonna be able to afford all that.
Who? Golden State.
Well, they did give up on Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes is gone. Barbosa's gone. Brandon Rush is gone. Bogut got traded because they had to get relieve that money for the Kevin Durant.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. They was thinking Iggy might go.
No, he ain't gonna go.
But they, I know they ain't gonna give up Sean Livingston. They don't want to give up Sean Livingston.
They're not gonna. No, they're not gonna give him. Whoever's not on their squad right now, they already gave up.
I tell you, that bench ain't gonna be as deep as it was last year.
No, because they got Zaza Pachulia, whatever his name is. From Dallas, they got. All right, that's another thing I was gonna tell you about, man. We cannot only just roast Kevin Durant about going into Golden State. We gotta roast David West. You are part of the roast session, and I'm gonna roast the shit out of you. Now, duly note that you put in your work when you was down there in New Orleans Hornets, and it just didn't pan out for you because Chris Paul got hurt every other year. I duly note that. You didn't work out for the Pacers because, Roy Hibbert didn't play up to his potential like he's supposed to, and Lance Stevenson decided to blow in people's ears.
You should have known. You should have seen that coming though, because last year he went to the Spurs. It was like, I felt like they had a good chance.
That's what I'm saying. But you're a hopping team, and then we can't even. And then Who else is gonna be part of the roast session if he decides to go to Golden State? Ray Allen, you gonna get roasted too. I will roast you, bro. I will roast you.
You wouldn't come for the Cavs. You gonna go to Golden State.
What's the bad part about it is you waited 2 years. That's why you're gonna definitely get roasted. It's like you're waiting to who's the best team, and I'm gonna sign on and I'm gonna shoot their eyes out.
All I want to do is play 3
Shoot
minutes
threes.
a game.
Yeah.
Give me 3 shots.
Yeah, I average 9 points a game coming off the bench. That's fine with me. Shoot my 3 threes and that's it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna roast you too. So the two people getting roast, part of my roast fest is Kevin Durant and David West. Ray Allen, you gonna be next if you
Messed
get.
up about David West. He could have went somewhere and got more money. He just chasing the ring right now.
Well, he chasing the ring. He can't do it. You know what he remind me of? You remind me of? Karl Malone.
When he went to the Lakers.
Yeah, when you went to the Lakers.
Yeah, I just looked that up the other day because after
Him and Gary Payton was on that team.
Yeah, after the Kevin Durant thing happened, it was like you act like this was the first time they showed a picture of that. I was like, these dudes was damn near 40.
They were old because Gary Payton already won one previously from Miami, and then he left from there and went to LA.
I'm like, yeah, they might be a good players and they well known, but these dudes is old, man.
Well, dude, he played in 95, 96 with Michael Jordan. Excuse me, 98 with Michael Jordan and them. So I mean, like, let's be for real.
Said you could not compare these dudes all in their prime to Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
And they weren't even in their prime.
Yeah, They retired after that championship.
That was horrible. All right, the Rockets. We're not talking about them getting rid of Dwight Howard because Dwight Howard wasn't going to stay there because he wasn't going to have part 2 of your boy, your favorite friend in the world who likes to do nothing but score 120 to 120, 121 to 120 and play no defense, all offense.
That's because Dwight's supposed to have his back.
Back? Who's back? He's not gonna play. He's not gonna play for what's your boy's name? The coach. Well. That whole thing about him, and he wasn't gonna come back because number one, because your boy,
James Harden.
James Harden. You talking crazy about me, man? I can't come back to a team that you don't want me here. That's number one. Number two, I'm not gonna play for. What's the coach this coach for him now? Used to be at the Lakers. Used to be for the Suns.
What's his name? It's not Mike. D'Antoni?
Yeah, Mike D'Antoni. He wasn't going to have part 2 of Mike D'Antoni because he already had part 1 when he was in LA, and you see it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
You know he wasn't coming back. So all he did was pick up Ryan Anderson, Eric Gordon, and Nene Hilario. And Nene is just doing Nene. He just I don't know. He just hops from team to team. And
Dwight still made the bad decision. I'm pretty sure he could.
I mean, nobody. Who else? That's this question. Who's gonna give Dwight money?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm
who's gonna give Dwight money? Everywhere he goes, he burns a bridge.
Yeah.
You can't go back to LA. You can't go back. You can't go back to Orlando.
It's crazy because he said he wanted to win a championship, but then he go out
He
there.
just
He go out there.
he sabotages. He gets he gets himself in his own way. He's his worst enemy. He's the reason why he can't win a championship because he's supposed to be as dominant as he is. He just I don't know. He just plays soft sometimes, man.
Yeah, he just wanted that wanted those couple fat checks and then.
Okay, well then you make sure you pay that child support while you at it. But and then the Pacers, like I said, they got Al Jefferson, they got Jeff Teague, Thaddeus Young. And they lost Solomon Hill, but you know, and Ian, what's his name?
Who? I don't know.
Mahaney.
Oh yeah, they lost.
Yeah, he and George Hill's gone.
But they got Al Jefferson. I mean,
they got Al Jefferson, so they'll be okay. The Clippers.
You can take that place. They brought back Jamal Crawford for like 3 years. I don't know what's up with that.
They got Wesley Johnson.
He's like 40.
Yeah, and they got Austin Rivers. You know.
Well, you know that's gonna happen. His father's the coach, man. You gotta
give my son some money. And then they got the
he leaves
Luke Richard Malabute, which you know he just played defense. You know, and then they lost Jeff Green. Jeff Green keeps going back to the same places too. He going back to Orlando. Oh, look, you might as well just have a house down there waiting for you. You just might as well just open the door and be like, let me dust these spider webs off. I've been here once before.
He said probably already do, for real.
Yeah, knowing him. Only thing Lakers got was Brandon Ingram. We forgot about that. That's only got the number 2 draft pick. Is him. And we don't know how he's gonna turn out.
What team?
Lakers.
I don't know, man. D'Angelo Russell gonna have to keep his phone off this year.
D'Angelo Russell was in so many trade talks. They were trying to get rid of him before the draft, after the draft. And any other moves is gonna be made. Russell's gonna be part of it. If they decide that Westbrook they're gonna trade Westbrook and they're gonna try to trade him to LA, he's gonna be part of it.
Be Russell in a couple first round picks. If I'm okay,
you already know it's bad. Look, you make one bad. That's what the whole problem is. You make one bad decision in your life, and you just ruin your whole career. It's not about you playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's not about your play.
He's supposed to be brothers on the team, man. And you gonna tell on my girl and then try to get with her.
Yeah, that's the bad part. That's like some old high school There's some, well, I'm gonna try to break them up, and I'm just gonna slide on in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit up on the DMs and try to get a holler at, see if she gonna, come talk to me, and she just do shade on you all day. Okay, and Memphis, they got Conley back. He deserves that money.
Not all that money.
Not all of it. But he deserves
some money.
Yeah.
Maybe $100 million.
Hey man, but like I said, 3-4 years looking back, we're gonna look at that deal and we're gonna say it's a pretty decent deal because the money's gonna go up higher and higher. You know what I'm saying?
Continuation of playoff disappointment, getting hurt, and you about to lose both your big men. Within the next,
but they can resign years. No, what they got the money's only going up. So you can resign.
They're not gonna lose in free agency. Of course, they're gonna stay there. I'm saying both of them getting up there in age. Marc Gasol might be there a little bit longer, but Zach Randolph been around for a while.
Zebo's been there since the Jailblazers. So
that's what I'm saying.
He's been there for a minute. And then they got Chandler Parsons too. So.
Tony Allen still playing shooting guard.
Yeah,
it's a great defense. You can't knock him. Great defense. He can't shoot.
Nobody's mad because they lost Matt Barnes. So the Heat this is horrible. They had no draft picks. On top of that, all they did is sign was Whiteside. That's it. And they lost Luol Deng to LA, Joe Johnson to Utah, Tyler Johnson to Brooklyn, which nobody even cared. And Dwayne Wade to Chicago. No trade.
About to have to pick up some people. You still got Gerald Green, I guess.
Bro, stop. You got a bunch of people who haven't really played.
Gerald Green was decent when he was starting with the Suns.
I'm not saying he's not decent, but you got just a bunch of players.
Yeah, man, you gotta just throw up a bunch of shots. Hope Whiteside develop some offense over the offseason.
You need to develop something. Is this hurting you?
Said $98 million. You better develop something.
Milwaukee Bucks thought they were going to be doing good because they thought they were going to try to get Wade. They were trying the hardest, but they couldn't do it. They got Dellavedova and some other guy, some Teletokic. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He came from Phoenix, and they lost. They dismissed O.J. Mayo for this violation of this drug policy. It wasn't like he was not good anyway.
That guy, so much potential.
That dude he was so promising. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh," Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, O.J. Mayo's the next thing coming." He come out USC and everybody he's playing all these games. He's looking good, and then he comes to the league and just bombs. Yeah. And when I say bomb, he's just like not even. He's inconsistent.
Put up 20 points one game, 2 points the next.
It's just horrible, man.
And he's like, maybe we'll let you come off the bench and see what happens.
And still
ain't doing nothing.
Timberwolves, all they got was Brandon Rush.
They believe in that young squad they got there. Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew.
They try to get. That's when they try to get Butler. They were going to trade. They were almost done to trade the squad almost for the Butler.
Nah, you gotta keep Towns.
No, they're not him.
They was trading Andrew Wiggins or something.
Yeah. because Thibodeau, he's up there coaching now.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans, I'm not even gonna talk about them because they just didn't get anybody. Nobody really cares about them.
Yeah, they lost Tyreek Evans and Eric Gordon.
Yep, they lost Tyreek Evans. You said who?
Eric Gordon.
You said Tyreek Evans?
Yeah.
Tyreek Evans still on that team.
Nah, he went somewhere.
He didn't go nowhere.
I just looked at it.
I'm just looking at it right now. All they said they lost was Ryan Anderson, James Ennis, and Eric Gordon.
I swear I just said this.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna go to the next one while you're looking that up. We got the Knicks. The Knicks got Brandon Jennings, which I'm not really. I don't know what Brandon Jennings you're gonna get. They got Courtney Lee, Joakim Noah, and Lance Thomas has re-signed him. I got Derrick Rose, and then lost Lopez, Calderon, whatever. And let's not even talk about this OKC right here. They got the two players from Orlando, Oladipo, and the other big man they got down there, and they lost Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka. Disappointing.
Yeah, you don't even
Very
know if
disappointing.
We
We don't know. That's
for Serge, though, that was great.
That baffled me when it says they traded Serge Ibaka. I'm like, for what? I said for that.
Yeah, for anybody.
I'm like, dude, you could have got somebody. You could have picked up a shooting guard and paid him something. You know what I mean? Gave him a 1-year deal or something. You know, I was like, dang. And Magic, they picked up Biombo, DJ Augustine. They re-signed Fournier, and they got Jeff Green. They got Ibaka, and they got Jody Meeks.
They still got Thabo. Thabo Harris.
Yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him leaving. So
Yeah, Thabo.
I didn't know they traded Shabazz Napier. They traded him to Portland. Win some, you lose some. I'm not gonna talk about the 76ers. All I got was Jared Bayless, and it's not really even somebody. And they got Sergio Rodriguez. That's a dude from that Real Madrid. That he was from that Spain on the Spain team in the Olympics. That was good on Spain. That's who the 76ers got. And they got Gerald Henderson. Brian Bosa went back to the Suns for the one last time. Your boy Jared Dudley went back to the Suns. What Suns keep getting like they bringing back like their old players. Jared Dudley and Brian Bosa. We believe in you again.
Yeah. They said we know you're about 5 years older now, but we want you to come back and do the same thing you did.
We want you to do one farewell tour, Brian Bosa, since you won your championship. Sacramento Kings. They got Matt Barnes. Garrett Temple was a good pickup because he was good at Washington. And Erica Follow. I don't know what type of follow you're gonna get out of that situation.
Who they point guard?
Who?
The Kings. Because they lost Rondo. They still got Darren Collison.
Yeah, he's still there, I think.
Cool. And they should be okay.
Well, Temple's there too, so I mean, he's pretty decent as a backup.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
If Rudy Gay come back and start playing defense again.
Is he coming back? Is he even coming back on that team?
Yeah, he should be. He shouldn't have been a free agent this year. And then DeMarcus Cousins actually win games, I guess. I don't know what to say about that dude.
I don't know, man. Everybody was for him because his coach was a turd, and they got rid of him. So now he has no excuse why somebody trying to get rid of him anymore. So obviously your team's backing you up if they fired their coach.
Yeah. I mean, he's like 25. Now it's 25 and 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get all that. I get a new coach.
Yeah. Spurs, all they did was get Paul Gasol.
That's
Las
just
Vegas
that's
West,
just replacing
and they
Boris
traded Boris Diaw. That was surprising me. I was like, "What?" I was like, "You traded Boris Diaw?"
They probably gonna release him and just pick him back up.
Who, Utah?
Yeah.
Nobody it won't be. It won't be the first time that the Spurs did that.
Said Boris Diaw don't do much.
Yeah. Of course, Toronto got DeRozan. We signed him. That's the only thing they did, and they lost Biombo. Jazz. They picked up Joe Johnson. Where's Diaw and George Hill? That's about it. And the Wizards, they re-signed Bradley Beal, Mahiney from Indiana, and this got two people from Orlando that I really never even heard of before. And he lost Dred Dudley, Lenny Hilario, Ramon Sessions, and Jared Temple.
I tell you, this year is gonna be like 4 teams per conference, with just like, or not even 4, maybe, with like powerhouse teams. And then,
well, I mean, if you think about it, like, if you even look at it, I'm looking at the numbers. Bradley Beal got 5 years, 130 million. Now Bradley Beal deserves that money. Like I said, he deserves the 5 years.
looking back in 5 years, you say, all right, that was cool.
Do you believe that Ryan Anderson deserves 4 years, $80 million from the Rockets?
That's 20 million.
He's consistently on the rebounding, and he plays decent. He plays good defense. But as in scoring wise, you're not like looking at him to be scoring like 20 points a game or anything like
20
that.
million a year. Nah, man. I mean, I guess that's the starter's fee now, 15 to 20 million. If you're gonna be a starter on the team, because they got it now apparently.
Yeah. Like you said, Conley had that $153 million for 5 years.
Highest paid player in the NBA right now.
Behind DeMar DeRozan with 5 years and $139 million. Because everybody thought he was going to go to the Lakers too.
Nah, man. That's what he came out at. That's his team. Why would he leave?
Yeah, because you're still playing with
Kyle Lowry.
The shell of
You
himself.
said you can bring in anybody else, anybody to fill in these other 3. Just keep me and Kyle Lowry here. It's going to be okay. Because they have been shuffling them out. Amari Carroll ain't half as good as the season last year. Then you lost Bismack.
Yeah, but I mean, beyond those, besides the Chandler Parsons getting 4 years, $94.8 million. I mean, everybody else, I mean, is just getting. It's pretty much just I don't know. I think Whiteside got really jitted. I don't think that's really a max deal to me.
Yeah.
4 years, $98 million. That's not even. It's not. Yeah. It's not even. That's not even hundreds. You're not even getting. A max deal is. That's not even a max deal. Max deal is 5 years, $120 million. That's a max deal to me.
Max did highest paid, one of the highest paid in my position.
Yeah, I mean, who else in the center was dominant?
That was out in free agency, or that's just in the league?
That was in the league.
Now you talking about now, right?
I'm talking about last season.
Ah, well, you only got Andre Drummond, which I'm pretty sure he didn't get more than him.
No.
Drummond, DeMarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns had a pretty good year.
But those people already were locked in.
Yeah. Nah, Drummond.
Yeah, now Drummond was the only one. He wasn't gonna. That they wasn't gonna let him just walk off the door. They're gonna give the bank to him. So
I think he was restricted anyway. So whatever somebody else would offer him, said nah, bro.
Yeah. So what you think about Dwayne Wade? Him leaving Miami.
He went back home, man. You can't blame him for that. You already said it. You gave him 13 years, 3 championships. And then you wanted to jip me on my money. I'm gonna go down here and play with Rondo and Jimmy Butler, and hope Rondo play like the Boston Celtics.
Rondo has not been himself since then.
Since he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
But he's still Rondo.
You know what's crazy? That You know that big center that the Spurs had, that seven, I think it was like 7-5 or 7 whatever he was. The Pistons signed him for 3 years.
How much?
It's just 3 years, man. You know, it probably was a check. So, but I'm glad Dwayne Wade. I mean, at least he didn't do like everybody thought he was gonna do. Everybody kept on putting him in Cleveland jerseys.
Oh yeah, man. I was hoping for that. I was like, once that happened, I was like, that'd be cool.
No, then your legacy would be
What?
it wouldn't be tarnished, but at the same time, everybody will look at you funny. Then we can't. Then like I told people, if that happens, then we can't say anything about KD.
Nah, man. You could. I mean, he would only have done it because KD went there.
But that doesn't justify like one person do it, so I'm gonna do it.
Nah, it's not that. It's that like that's an extremely powerful team.
It doesn't matter. KD can win 2-3 championships with them Golden State, and those 2-3 championships in my mind is not gonna count.
That's what I was saying.
I'm gonna forever put asterisks beside them
That's what I was saying
championships.
earlier. Like if they win championships, it's like taking away from the value of those rings.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to be great, but then you just got on a team with other people that's averaging, with 2 other people that's averaging 25 points, and people who just the best regular season team in NBA history. And top 5 player, like the second or third best small forward in the league. Kawhi Leonard is who I'm putting ahead of him.
Of who?
Durant. That's why I said second or third. I thought that's why you paused. You was looking at me. It's like maybe Kawhi Leonard.
Like what? Better than him? No, I don't know.
That's why I said maybe second.
No, but I mean, you can't put the Kawhi Leonard. He's not a scorer like he is.
Yeah.
I mean, but Kawhi Leonard plays better defense.
Durant down, or not shut him down, at least slow him down.
What? It couldn't even slow him down this year though, because Durant was doing him in. It's like this. It's like I said. It's a back and forth thing. Like, Kawhi Leonard was Durant's kryptonite. Durant couldn't do anything with him. He was blocking the shots. I was looking at the old film. He was just playing defense on him. Durant was a shell of himself when he played against Kawhi Leonard. And he finally got over that hump and beat him. But you get to Golden State and you're up 3-1 on them. And then they come back and beat you 4-3.
You know what somebody said? It was like Kevin Durant should hold off signing the contract with Golden State and let them get rid of all these people to make cap space for you. He'd be like, I was just playing. I would never leave OKC.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna leave. I was just bullshitting. Yeah.
It's like it's cutthroat business. That'd be okay.
Yeah, well, it's too late now because they done made a press conference and got media in front of a Golden State banner, so you know he's going
building
there.
the hype, man. Don't believe it till he signs the contract. All right, I got something else.
All right.
Roddy White. I'm bringing him up again. Said that last year, if he would have been more in the offense, they would have got him the ball more. They would have been a playoff team.
All right. How many times have you seen the success, well, not even success, the ups and downs of the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC South?
Yeah. That was they had 1 year. They went to the playoffs.
Yeah, man. They went to the playoffs. And Matty, not Ice. He was Ice, all right.
You can do it all regular season. Can't make it to the playoffs. Well, lately he can't even do a regular season.
Yeah, man. He's just a shell of himself, man.
They gave him that fat contract, man. People get all that money.
Like I always said, man. Like until you make people produce on numbers, I wouldn't give you no contract. Like
nah, he was when he got the contract.
Yeah, but the deal about it is like afterwards. Now you look back at it now and it's like, wow, we just gave you this big contract and you're not even like coming through the clutch. You know what I mean? We paid you to like Aaron Rodgers numbers, and you ain't even performing like him. You see what I'm saying?
I give him 1 year because he lost both of the receivers. Roddy White and Julio Jones was injured.
I mean, Julio Jones is doing all by his damn self.
That's why I keep bringing up the Whitey Wright thing, because every time he in the news, he talking
But
about.
you talking about like he was like the #1 receiver at one time, and like he was doing his thing, doing your thing. You were before
I was gonna say
Julio got
he was there. He was there rookie year, Julio. That's when they made the playoffs. He was doing all that stuff.
Yeah, but at the same time, like now, like you saying all this stuff, but you just came off an injury though.
You get older.
You can't. Yeah, it ain't like you. It's not like you were talking to me like Roddy White, who was putting up these numbers. You know what I mean? Like I was putting up these numbers. You talking about Roddy White, who just came off an injury? Julio came off an injury, but deal about Julio, he's been putting up numbers ever since he's been out.
Who you say gonna have a better year this year, Julio or Amari Cooper?
I said Julio.
Yeah, Julio gonna get his, but you got Derek Carr just slinging it to.
No. I'm not saying no, but but the deal about Amari Cooper is Amari Cooper needs help.
He got Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree had a career year last year.
He needs help. As in, I'm talking about your tight ends. I'm talking about your running game. It's got to be.
They got a top 5 tight end in the league.
No, I'm talking about your tight end. Not your tight end, but your running back has to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's been his problem.
Because that's been their problem is they can pass all day, but they're making them one-dimensional now. So you got to have a running game, balanced game. The defense, I'm not going to question about that. Their defense is getting better every year.
Charles Woodson though this year.
But that's Charles Woodson. You know he's going to retire, man. You know he can't play forever.
I'm saying they lost Charles Woodson this year.
Yeah. I mean, you can't replace a Charles Woodson.
That's what I'm saying.
I know, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get you what you needed to get. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Because you see most corners, when they get older, they just turn them into safeties.
Unless you're Tyrann Mathieu and they change you to a safety because you couldn't cover nobody.
Well, weird enough, Tyrann Mathieu played better at safety when he played at LSU than he played at corner. So how many times have we seen him play against Alabama receivers, Julio Jones, and get smoked? You see what I'm saying? How many times you see him get jammed up at the line and Julio just run right by him, bro? I'm talking about Julio put hands on him.
Julio a big dude, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you supposed to be that dude. You were talking about that Honey Badger this, and you was talking on the Jazz and stuff. You know what I mean?
The schemes, the play schemes. They knew what he could do. You knew you could get out there and make some plays.
Yeah, man, you're good at safety. So I mean, some people are just good at one position than the other. It's just stating the facts. Charles Woodson can't move like he used to.
Yeah, he was getting old, but he was still making plays.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he was a slouch, but I mean, you just come to the realization
he ain't
that
no Roman Harper.
Oh no. Where did he go? Did he end up going back to the
Saints?
Yeah. Trying to relive the past.
I hate seeing that dude, man. I respect him. I like him. But I hate seeing
that
dude. I'd be like, this dude is just old, but he's not that old.
You gotta respect him because he's one of them. He's part of the Nick Saban's first year. He was on the squad.
No. I don't know.
I think he was. I don't know. I had to look it up, but he's been playing for a minute.
Yeah.
He's almost like Charles Tillman. Been playing for a long time, man. Just you be like, damn. You be like, wait, maybe this year he'll say he retired. He's coming, but the next year he keeps coming back. At the same time, it's like, how long do we sign him for? 'Cause he might not be back next year. You know what I mean? But he's producing. He's not like he's not producing. Like he's another person who's
slowest
producing
safety in
too.
the league.
Yeah, but he produces.
Yeah, you're right.
But see, it's not about it being slow when you get that old. It's all about your technique. You rely on more technique and speed. Yeah, that's all
Tim
it
Duncan
is.
of the NFL.
Yeah, that's all that's gonna carry you all the way to the end until you can't score no more. Tim Duncan.
They say that's what Ray Lewis was. I can tackle anybody. I can't run around like I used to.
No.
I can stand in this middle of the field, read the quarterback eyes, and to make a clean tackle.
Yeah, he was like RoboCop towards the end.
Yeah, he had the brace on his arm and everything.
Brace on here and everything's all bandaged up. You just like trying to like the Tin Man. You know, they just had to put some oil in his little little arm brace and let him keep going. You know, so he was like the he was just barely making it there. Especially that Super Bowl he won, I was like this. I don't see how he did it. I don't see how he did it. He pulled it out, but he did it though.
I'm surprised they ain't give him the MVP.
Well, you already know they're gonna give the MVP to old gunslinger over there, Flacco. That one threw it, bro. He threw up so many lame shots up in the air. I'm like this. How was he not picked? I'm like, is this game rigged? It was like, I mean, I'm a Ravens fan, but I was like this. I was like,
that 49ers, man, they ain't had no safeties or cornerbacks.
49ers didn't have nothing.
I mean, they had some linebackers. They had a decent front seven.
Oh, their linebackers was on point. They had Bowman,
Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman.
Yeah.
What's the other guy's name? Oh man, he's still there. I forgot the other guy's name, but they had some really good.
Patrick Willis was the dude though.
Yeah.
I wish he would never retire, man.
You just don't be feeling it no more.
Where you go? Look what his team you on.
They don't know what's going on now.
No, man, it's like now you got a fraudulent. Coach.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like
If I was Navarro Bowman, I'd be leaving. I'd be on my way out the door. I'd be like, you mean to tell me you don't want me to play defense?
Is that what he said?
Nah, that's just Chip Kelly's philosophy.
Yeah.
He's like, they can score as many points as they want. We gonna score more. What?
But the deal about Chip Kelly is if you speak against me, I'm gonna get rid of you.
Yeah. Or if I just don't like you. If I feel like you're a weirdo in the locker room, I see you reading a book. You get out of here.
You're trying to get educated and smart, and not try to outsmart me. You gotta go.
All right, what was the other thing I had? It was Russell Wilson. Your boy in the news again. It's not really him. You know what I'm about to say. The Sierra filing reports that she's fearing for Russell Wilson's life.
Why are you fearing for Russell?
Because
Wilson?
Future said some stuff on some songs. He called him out on the ET mixtape.
Okay.
And he did something else. He said something between like a text message or something. So she like filed some reports about she fears for. Something on social media. He like sent us.
But if you're really fearful about somebody who, I'm not saying, I don't know Future personally. Like I'm not saying he ain't about that life.
He
but
must
at the
be,
same
'cause
time,
Sierra is really scared for the foul.
yeah, man. But at the same time, like
it's just publicity.
Russell Wilson is a grown man. Last time I checked, he's a grown ass man, a well grown, paid ass man. At that. So if you're really that fearful for your life, you can pay for protection or whatever you want to do, or watch where you go, or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that just I don't know, man. Like it's just me personally. It just becomes like I told my wife, she's a pro Sierra, and I'm like really not. I really don't like her because it's just her career is just a roller coaster. It's up and it's down, and yeah, that's what happens. But at the same time, like when it doesn't work out for you, you try to find your gravy train and you jump on it. So my opinion is like I told her both of them being petty, like both of them are petty. And they just should just leave each other alone. You know what I mean? She shouldn't put up pictures with his son and all the rest of his other stuff. You know what I mean? It should be like, co-parenting. Not this, I'm going to get you for that and tick for tat. You know what I mean? That gets old. You know what I mean? So
I'm calling. I think a lot of it is just a publicity stunt for Sierra trying to do whatever she's trying to do. And
we're doing
I
what?
don't know, man. She's trying to get her own TV show or something. A reality TV show or something.
Stop it. You're not the Kardashians.
Hey,
You're not
trying
that.
to be something.
Stop, man. You live out in L.A. and you're trying to follow the pop lane. You don't try to jump on somebody else's.
Russell Wilson don't win another championship in the next 2 years.
It's because of her.
Or they might not.
I'm going Lil B, Base God. There's a curse on Russell Wilson.
Why he's with Sierra.
She has put a hex on him. He has not produced since then.
I don't know, because he turned it on last season. He started off crappy, but he turned into a whole nother quarterback second half of the season.
You should have just been consistently playing like that the whole year.
Well, at first he wasn't smashing. I guess this ain't going so well.
I don't know, man. I think he just got caught in the same lane, like on this Hollywood lane, man. And like he should just when you made the big buzz, now you're on the scene. Now you're going out with somewhat of a name of a person named Sierra. You know what I mean? I'm not disclaiming that she didn't have her. I'm not disclaiming some of her accomplishments. But accomplishments been so far along and so spaced out is he relevant now? You see what I'm saying? It really is. Like, you know, it's to the point where like when people like, you know, Future puts out music and he puts out so many #1 hits back to back. Yeah, some people say he's saturating the game because he's putting out so much music, but I mean, it's not like he's putting out duds and
say he's a workaholic.
Yeah, so I mean that's how his work ethic is. But at the same time, like I just think that that's all petty talk, man. I read that article and I was like, it really is. You're really reaching out for something that's nothing really there.
Nah, man. Russell Wilson told her. She was like, Sierra, I'm scared. He was at practice the other day. He showed
I heard somebody used to his music and I seen 2 people dabbing at the same time.
It was at OTAs. I swear I saw that Batman suit come out of nowhere.
All I heard was if Metro don't like you, I'm gonna shoot you. And I got scared.
Said I haven't even met young Metro. I don't know.
It gonna be like Boys in the Hood. Like Ricky. Oh man.
All right, that's all I get.
I mean, I can't think of any more. As far as for anything else.
All right, actually, next week, remember I was gonna tell you about I was telling you about we was gonna do top players in the NBA. Top players in the NBA, and so next week I figure we get started on it since the season is over. Top 5 point guards. Do your research once you be ready. Top 5 point guards in the league today. Right now. Out of all time.
Okay.
Just right now. Isaiah Thomas and Steve Francis.
So top point guards.
Yeah,
nobody
top
else.
5 point guards.
All right.
We'll go each position each week. Just make it
Okay. The point guard's gonna be kind of. It's gonna be rough.
I know
man.
you're gonna try to avoid putting Steph Curry in there, but we're gonna see what happens.
No, I can't. I'm not gonna discredit somebody if you're good.
I thought you would just keep them out of point guards and show up the next week with them at shooting guard and be like, "This is
top." We're gonna be Then we're gonna do like NBA TV does. Is go top scorers of the league. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because it's to a point where, like, I'm not saying he had more points than he had more 3-point attempts this year than he did assists. So I mean, does it really mark him as a point guard? Is he still a point guard because that's his position, or does he play as a point guard?
Draymond Green, the point guard.
Draymond Green is the point guard because every fast break you always see Draymond coming down with that long stride, and he has almost. I feel like he had more assists than he did.
I thought he averaged more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the crazy part about it. A power forward being the point of a power guard, just coming down the court, just facilitating the ball to everybody.
Brian in 3 years, man. You're gonna be old and slow, just cruising down. Said I'm still dominant, just coming down the court.
I will be just like if you just get to a point where you don't get like Kobe and just keep playing and just you get hurt that one good time. That's one thing you can say about LeBron. He doesn't really get seriously injured, like I'm out for the season injured like that. He gets his bumps, scrapes, and bruises, and he sits out his games or whatever, or he rests. He takes really good care of himself.
I'm saying Kobe probably could have played more, or the Lakers would have did better if he was willing to change up his game. If he was willing to not take the 20 to 30 shots a game.
That's not even that, bro. I think when he came back from that Achilles, man, that's a major setback.
Because he couldn't jump no more. You saw it in the last game.
Yeah.
Couldn't even get up and dunk it. Or it was like a rim graze dunk. He just touched it. Just, I'm going back to the bench now.
Man, that just came from him getting overworked. And nobody's sitting there telling Kobe, hey, come over here and sit your ass down on this bench because I said so. You see what I'm saying? And he's playing 40+ minutes, like, you know, game in and game out. And he ruptured his, Achilles, man. And after that, I was like, I said it right then and there. I was like, that's the end of Kobe.
Yeah.
I said that. I was like, he ain't coming back from this.
He just wanted
Period.
to play another season, man. He wanted to go out.
Bro,
go
stop
out
it.
the right
You
way.
wanted to see, you wanted to see if you still had it, and then you found out you
Yeah.
didn't. So now you have this curtain call and stuff like that, and trying to go out like Frank Sinatra. I'm going out my
They
way.
planned on it to just be like a high shooting season. That's why he picked up Roy Hibbert. It was like, it's gonna be a lot of shots. You had Roy Hibbert. No, you had Kobe, Nick Young, and Lou Williams. You knew that they was just gonna throw up a lot of shots. He's like, we just need you down here to grab these rebounds, Roy.
That's all we need you to do. Because you know Lou ain't do nothing but shooting when he was in Atlanta. That's all he did. This man was going to play no defense. All he did was shoot. He ain't on the team no more, is he?
Oh,
No,
yeah, he's
Lou.
still there.
Oh, okay. Like I said, didn't believe in Roy Hibbert.
All right, though. It's the end of this segment for this week. As always, we'll be back next week with the top 5 point guards in the league and more sports news and real life news.
I'm gonna say this. Please subscribe to this podcast. We need your follows. Please subscribe to
If
this.
you made it this far, I am proud of you.
Yeah, well, dang, man, we're gonna get better. We're gonna get Medina the right equipment to make this podcast better.
Because
Because
long, I got a short attention span. That's why I watch Adventure Time. Take me 3 sit downs to that.
no, man, we'll get him the right equipment so we can be able to make this a successful podcast. We gotta do more advertisement. We gotta do more putting it out there,
You
man.
see it on your Papa John pizza boxes.
But for real, we need to. I mean, please subscribe to this. I mean, we trying to go out here and put this good information out here and try to talk about some good topics, man. Yeah, man, that's all I got. I just had to put that out there. Had to advertise for it.
All right, signing off. It's the Black Even Steven.
All right, this is B. Good night.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Not again.